Thanks for having me on. 24 years right now, guys. This is Groundhog Day, but I think this is kind of right now in September right here. After this day, the season's even gonna come a lot quicker, and it's always a good day right here. As far as the Beavers, we're a veteran team this year. We have 15 upperclassmen, 8 seniors. Our leadership group, we're led by Jackson Judding, Eric Martin, Austin Yupi, Yuri Vizinen. We're definitely, like I said, we're going to lean on our experience. I like our team in a lot of areas. And I think if you talk to a lot of coaches right now, everybody likes their team. Because, again, the only thing is we're playing against ourselves right here. But I just, again, I can, with the sample size that we have, looking in years past, I just think we have a lot of key ingredients. They got good size. We skate well. We have good skill. We compete hard. We have veterans in all positions. They're coachable. Like I said, I like our team. I like everything across the board. It's nothing maybe great, but again, it's just I think we have a really good, consistent group. I think 2 areas of strength for our team. In goal, Matthias Scholl, he's a battle-tested goalie, and we're strong up the middle. We've got some size. We've got some veteran leadership. We've got guys who are good on both sides of the puck up the middle. But we do have some holes to fill. We lost 4 of our top 5 scorers. 2 defensemen with 20-plus points. I mean, that's a lot of points that you'll lose right here. So, obviously some people are going to have to, they're going to have to fill that void right there. But again, we do have 89 goals back. When you take a look at our transfers and our returnees, we have 89 goals. And we're going to have to score by committee. Oh, sorry about that.
No.
Something happened right there. But anyway, we're going to have to score by committee just like a lot of teams. But I told our guys the other day, just give me a bunch of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 goal scorers. We'll be fine. Everybody just pitches in. Everybody does their job. And we'll be just fine right there. And, we have a few things that we want to improve on from last year. Number one is we weren't very consistent last year. We want to be more of a consistent team from October to March. Last year, we were just basically a February and early March-based team, and that allowed us to have a little success near the end of the year. And we do need to improve our special teams. Our penalty kill for the last 2 years hasn't been what it was probably the previous 5 or 6. And we need to get better right there. And we need to get better on our power play. So those areas they're obviously, again, needs of improvement. And lastly, our league this year, again, just like it was last year, just like it is typically every year, like a lot of leagues, there's a number of teams who could win this league. And there's so many things that are going to play into it. Goaltending, special teams, staying healthy. And again, that's also the old Groundhog Day term is same stuff. Same stuff applies right there. But it's going to be a competitive league, top to bottom. And again, like I said, after this call today, it's kind of like we're one step closer to the beginning of the year.
Great. Thanks, Tom. Any questions for Tom? We'll start locally there. Jared, you're up.
Tom, I got 2 for you. The first one is I want to ask you about Jackson Judding. He's a kid that came in 2 years ago as a transfer, and now he's the captain of your team. Just talk about how impressed you are with him and his ability to establish that leadership in such a short amount of time for your program.
Well, and again, Jared, Jutz as well, and he was a captain for a reason. Our guys, he has control of that locker room, and again, like I said, we got a veteran group. But Jutz is the key of that veteran group. He's wearing the C. He's an extension of the coaching staff. He's a voice in that locker room. He's got maturity. He plays the game the right way. He's honest. He competes. He's got talent. He's a guy that plays in all situations. He's a guy, the last minute, if we're up a goal, he's going to take that tap. There's a good chance he'll take that tap. If we're down a goal, good chance he's going to be on the ice. So he's going to see a lot of minutes, but he's earned those minutes.
And second for you, you talked about finding more consistency and how, you were a January, February, March team last year. But when you look at last year and the injuries that piled up in the beginning of the year, does that give you any sort of confidence knowing that, hey, you got through that, kind of those doldrums of the first half of the season with all those injuries and still ended up in the spot you're in?
We were banged up, and I forgot about that, to be honest with you. Like Scholz was out a while, Lufty was out a while, Jutz, we had some injuries, there's no question. But again, I don't like to look at that, and nobody wants to hear that because, again, it's a new year. whether, again, everybody's going to have injuries too, by the way, but whether you're injured or not injured, I think the biggest thing is you just want to make sure you maintain your standard of play. I guess that's what I look at, Jared. And it doesn't necessarily mean who's in the lineup, but whoever's in the lineup, maintain your standard of play, play to your identity. And I think if you do that, at least that makes you feel good as a coach, because once you get your reinforcements back, you know that you're going to be in good shape. But you can't be a roller coaster. And we were a roller coaster last year. We were trying to figure ourselves out. And I remember the month of December, hey, even in January wasn't, it was a battle. It was a battle every game. And then, of course, we got into a rhythm, and things obviously took shape. And a lot of times what happens, you got to be strong in a couple different areas. And we were strong in a couple different areas down the stretch.
Trent Singer.
Hey, Coach Serratore, this is Trent Singer with the Rink Live and Sioux Falls Live. I just I had a question. You know, last season you came into this media day and talked a lot about the parity in this conference, and I'm just curious, do you sense a lot of that same parity this season, and how does it sort of differ from what you went into last season?
It's the same. And next year I'm going to say the same thing. It's going to be Groundhog Day, guys. It's just the way it is. And our teams, like I do one of these, you know, every year. We do how many goals are coming back in the league. That's always a little bit of, it's a small indicator. It's just one of those things you do to get ready. And it's amazing. There's a lot of consistency with goals coming back in the league. The only thing that's different now when you do that, there's so many transfers. So you got all those things to add up as well. And sometimes, again, it's hard to have consistency right there, but at least it's a barometer. So you look at scoring coming back, defenseman scoring coming back. Then you take a look at special teams. You have all these little, maybe self-created analytics, I guess is maybe the best way of putting it, Trent. But man, when you take a look at our league, it's just like, holy moly. And it can be one game, maybe two games. And those particular games are so critical. And I tell our guys all the time, the game October 5th, the game October 11th, the game October 12th, the game October 25th is just as important as the last weekend of February, especially when you only play 26 conference games and 34 regular season games. This isn't junior hockey. It's not the NHL. You're not playing 84. You're not playing 82. Every game is worth something. And in theory, the Stanley Cup playoffs start in October, because if you win the Stanley Cup, you got 4 rounds of best of 7. That could be 28 games. So it's critical. So you want to be consistent, and one game can make a difference. So you've got to be dialed in. I don't know if I answered that question there, Trent, but it's going to be just as competitive, and there's going to be just as much parity this year as there was last year. And I'm going to say the same thing next year. I guarantee it.
Anything else for Coach Serratore? All right, Trent, one more.
Yeah, one more for you, Coach. You lost a couple defensemen here, and one to the transfer portal, and one who's gone on to play pro, and Kyle Loft. And I'm just curious, how do you feel like you filled those gaps with the 3 freshmen that you brought in, the existing guys that you have there, obviously, and then the 1 transfer you brought in?
Well, again, I like our group. I like our collective group right there. But to sit there and say, hey, somebody's going to take Lufty's place. Lufty played 5 years for us. And, he came in maybe 195, pounds, and he left here 223 pounds. There's a lot of variables that play into it, Trent. But yeah, I mean, somebody's going to have to take Lufty's ice time. Are they going to have the offensive productivity? Good chance not. I mean, I don't know what you had. You guys got the stats in front of you. I didn't even look. I know he was high 20s. What was he, 28 points or something last year? So yeah, maybe somebody's not going to have his productivity, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, that the minutes that they play, can't be comparable. And that's what you look at. And we do have 6 defensemen returning. We got some battle-tested defensemen, and we really like all 3 of our freshman defensemen. So to say a freshman defenseman is going to be like the guys that we lost, that's not fair as well. So every year you're going to have players come in, and every year you're going to graduate players. And every year somebody's going to have to eat the minutes up of the guys that left. That's just the way it is. And we've been doing this a long time, and you can't worry about it. You just got to worry about the guys you have in that locker room, coach the heck out of them, develop them, and let's drop the puck. That's how I look at it.